Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Piper Academy Network. I am Army Piper. This is the Morning Market Report, and we've got some news today, guys. We got some job numbers that came in today. A little bit of red here on the daily, on the hourly, looking at the crypto bubbles. A little bit of green. Barra, evidently, the thing right now, up 35.8% on the hour, and looking at it on the daily, guys, up 85.7%, pushing its way into the top 100. Also, looking at the stock market right now, U.S. market open right now as we're sitting here, kind of flat. Everything's kind of flat. It's all in the green, flat side of the green, but it is up Dow Jones 0.13%, S&P up 0.22%, and the NASDAQ 0.1%. Guys, we got some jobs data that we need to go over, challenger job cuts, initial jobless claims, all that, and plus what's coming tomorrow. We need to talk about that because we had some job revisions that took place back in August. You may remember 818,000 jobs. That jobs report due out tomorrow for the final version of it. We're going to talk about all of that and a whole lot more, plus Bitcoin. Got to talk about the Bitcoin. Guys, let's get it. You know what time it is. Class is in session. Let's go. Good morning to everyone that is in our channel right now, in our chat. Let's go ahead and bring down the screen here, guys. You guys can see right there the pivot tables. We talked about that revisit of the support yesterday. Hit it perfectly. Came back up, rejecting on the lower band of our median market there, the mother's milk, the MM zone. Getting a little rejection off of that right now. Looks like it's trying to fight it. Also, point of control sitting there. But first of all, let's go ahead and bring up the co-host of the show. I don't do this alone. I got my partner in crime over here. What is up there, OC guy? How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing fantastic today. I had a lot of time in the morning. Woke up very early. Still, I don't know how time just go flying, man. We were talking also about the jobs, right? And I was like, man, how long was that ago? It doesn't seem to be like too long, right? And
it was August.
I have
August 21st.
Yeah.
So that was a preliminary report. A lot of people don't realize that was a preliminary annual revision. So it's like the midway point, because the one for the previous year came out in March 2024. The preliminary came out in August 21st of 2024 for the next year. It's basically like hey, what's the pulse of the current labor market looking like? And they said, we reported 818,000 jobs that didn't actually exist. The final version comes out tomorrow morning along with the monthly report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So we're going to be looking at all that data. Well, we're going to look at that announcement of that report because we haven't really heard anything about it. Nobody's talking about it in the crypto space. Nobody's talking about it in the mainstream media for finance markets. Nobody's really, yeah, we got the preliminary report and it was 818,000 jobs. It was bad. S&P sold off 4% in that window, which is a substantial sell-off for the stock market. And then, that's it. Nobody's really keeping their finger on what's coming tomorrow. And so we're gonna talk about it here because I think that it could have the potential of a big move. And guys, it could be a sell-off or a pump. It may already be baked in. And we're at this point where Jerome Powell has paused the rate cuts, right? Well, what makes him go back to rate cuts? Weakening labor market, right? So if that comes in, we could actually see the markets pump because they get excited that Jerome Powell is now going to have to cut rates again. So I don't know. It's going to be flip a coin one way or the other. We've seen where job reports has sunk markets. We've seen where job reports have pumped markets. We had a whole period there where bad job numbers came in, markets rallied, right? Now we're seeing, and that was because they were raising rates and then they were paused for a long period of time, and that forced the likelihood of rate cuts coming. Now we're in a pause period again, and this could be that situation where bad job numbers pump the markets because now it forces Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve to look at more rate cuts again. So I don't know, man. It can go either way, but we're going to talk about all of it today. And first, though, let's go ahead and give a shout out to everybody in the chat because I'm seeing a lot of people in here. Let's get back to the top of my list and let's just go see what we got here. We got BC Port Corp in first this morning saying, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Guys, if you guys don't check out BC Port Corp on Good Morning Crypto, it's the first show on the channel every day here on Piper Academy Network. You guys are missing out. He does some pretty good stuff. Also, we got Crypto Coin Mindset in here. BC Port Corp dropped a link for him. Appreciate that, bro. Who else we got in here? Crypto Coin Mindset. Keith, if you guys don't follow him, you guys need to follow him. I'm sure links get ready to get dropped right now because I said it, because that's how good my mods are. I love you guys. Ninja Glock in the house. Alexandra G, the mod queen, in here with us. We have Kyle. Robert Mulligan is in here with us. Shout out to you. Username. Appreciate you being here, brother, as always. We got Harp in here with us. Kyle Fields. I knew I saw you in here. He said, yo. That's what he said. We got, who else? Who else did I miss here? Indie Rock Crypto saying, let's mother effing go. Alumni. I love it, dude. I love it. Trade Intuition, the host of the Trade Academy show and his own channel. Go check out Trade Intuition. What's up, bro? How you doing today, man? I think I got everybody. Baba Yaz. Nope, we got Baba Yaz. We got Donato Cabrera in here with us. I'm my hero. You should be your own hero, man. Everybody should be their own hero. Pump yourself up. We're going to talk about that today too. I got a video about that, about how people perceive them fitting into the system, and is it rigged against you and stuff. I got a pretty good little video talking about that. Average Crypto Joe's in here with us. Museum of Corruption in the house with us. Buck's in here. I think, Georgios, OC guy, I will follow you every day from now on. All right. All right. There you go. I'm not sure. I'm going to butcher your name, bro. But I think it's Georgios. I'm not sure. But hey, welcome, man. Appreciate you being here. Supernatural. And I think that pretty much wraps it all up. If I missed anybody, guys, we got to get into this content. But I appreciate you all being here. You guys are the reason I wake up every morning, pour a cup of coffee. David, I see you, bro. Pour a cup of coffee and sit down here at my computer and start ripping through data. I want to know it for myself because I'm an investor, but I want to make sure you guys get it too. So that's it. Let's go ahead and jump in on the news side, OC, and let's get rolling on that because I think we got some interesting markets coming in today. So let's go jump over and knock out the news first. But you got anything for the people before we jump in and start that? Or are you ready to just roll with it, bro?
Let's roll with it because I want to get to the part of where we talk about the job part. I think that's going to be a good sideways to then take a look at the charts and start, like adding 1 to 1 together and see what it came up to.
Yeah, 1 + 1 = 3. That's what I was taught a long time ago. 1 + 1 = 3. Your job is defined. What number are you missing in that equation, right? So something's not right here. Figure it out. That's how my brain works now. Let's go jump into the news and let's take a look at that, guys. Right now, it's looking at the crypto market cap sitting at $3.212 trillion. The trend is at 3.428. So we are technically right now 6.31% undervalued on the total market cap, just so you guys know. Given this nice moving average trend line, we are beneath our average fair value. So current risk right now on Bitcoin is sitting at 58.2%. Not bad, not bad. That would make it a DCA times two on the new setup that I'm working, guys, the DCA Piper plan. If you guys don't know, now you know. Let's go over here and look at the market dominance, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance with stable coins right now is at 60.39%. Without stables at 64.92. Remember, Rect Capital said 71% is the key number to hit before altcoin season can occur. So looking at that, that would be with stables. We got about 11% more Bitcoin holding the ground. And then let's go look at that fear and greed real fast. Look at that and see what that's at. Let's bring it in here. We are currently sitting at 49. So we're still in neutral right now. No greed, no greed, no greed. There you go. So 49 is the fear and greed current number right now. Let's go in and look at these bubbles. Again, guys, daily is red, hourly is red. Let's go down to see the price. Bitcoin sitting currently right now at 98,631. Can you adjust for me just a little bit? Just a little bit. Oh yeah. All right, there we go. $98,631. We're up about 0.1% on the daily right now for Bitcoin. Ethereum down 1.4% at $2,700. XRP down 5.1%. Solana's down 4.2. BNB's up 1.4, 584. Solana at 197. What else we got here? Doge is down 3.2%. Cardano's down 3.9%. Tron getting a little bit of a move there, up 1.6% on the daily, losing some of that on the hourly, sitting at 22.8 cents. Chainlink is down 2.6%. Avalanche moved up a position to number 12 in the market cap, down 4.2% at $25.82. Sui losing that spot, moving down to number 13 at $3 and just under 340, down 5.7%. Stellar Lumen's down 3.6. Toncoin down 0.8. Toncoin getting some backlash because something with Telegram now requiring wallets linked. I don't know. It's something I didn't read into it that much, but there's some backlash coming from the tongue community. But it has moved up one spot to number 15, only down 0.8%, less than a whole percent there. HBAR down 5.9%, sitting at 24 cents. Shiba Inu's down 5.3, still holding in the top 20, man. Leo token down 0.2% at $9.79, moving up one position to number 18. Hyperliquid switching out that spot with Leo token. They're down 9.2% and bringing in the end of it. Native token to the BitGet exchange up 3.2%. Typically see that when we have a lot of volatility and sell-off. So, guys, that is what we have in the top 20 today. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin, though, just because I do think Litecoin ETF could be bringing it something that has moved down to the number 21 position, down 1.5% on the daily at 104.41. Let's jump over here, take a look at this. All right, so looking at the Dow Jones currently, let's refresh and make sure we got current data here. Dow Jones is down 0.07, pretty flat. S&P down 0.17%, pretty flat. NASDAQ down 0.07%, pretty flat, and Russell 2K up 1.14. That's the only decent mover going on today. Let's take a look at the bonds. 10-year yield sitting at 4.436, staying away from that 5%. That's a good thing. Let's see gold. Gold has taken a little step down, about 0.46% there, down $13.20 on the ounce at $28.79. I do still think gold is going to hit 3,000, especially if we get those bad job numbers. Then that's it. And then last but not least, let's take a look at silver and copper here. Silver is at 32.55. Copper moving up still. We talked about copper yesterday in our members group at $4.44 there, and it is up 0.08. Platinum up 0.14, and lastly, palladium down 1%. Let's talk about this economic data here, guys, because we did get a lot of data that came in this morning. First of all was Challenger job cuts. Coffee break. Hey, drop a coffee mug in the chat if you guys are drinking coffee right now. Delicious. All right. Looking at Challenger job cuts, it came in, was at 38.79K. The forecast was out, it was going to be 45K. This is number of job cuts, so that would have been bad. It actually was even worse. It's 49.795, so almost 49.8 there, thousand. On the Challenger job cuts, guys. Let's jump in and see what this says. U.S. employers announced 49,795 job cuts in January, above the 38,792 in December, but down 40% from the 82,000 a year earlier. It's also the lowest January job cut total since 2022. January was a relatively quiet in terms of jobs and job cut announcements. However, we've already seen major announcements in the early days of February, so it seems this quiet is unlikely to last. There you go. I think tomorrow this quiet will be a little bit louder. That's what I think. Let's jump over here. Look at initial jobless claims. Was at 208,000. That was a revised number. Expected on consensus and forecast to be 213 to 215. Came in higher. That's 219,000 people filed for unemployment the past week. Initial jobless claims in the U.S. rose by 11,000 from the previous week to 219,000. In the meantime, recurring claims rose by 26,000 to 1.8 million, and in the previous week, ahead of the market expectation to 1.87. Despite remaining robust against a historic perspective, the data was in line with the views that the U.S. labor market is due for a slight degree of softening in 2025. And so even more information saying, hey, look, this labor market's going to start weakening. Let me get my ticker up there. I don't know why my ticker went away. Ticker, come back. People want to see the prices. There you go. Non-farm productivity came down to 1.2%. Only had an increase, of 1.2% from 2.3. Was expected that it was going to be about 1.4, 1.9 for the month, quarter, Actually only came in at 1.2. So non-farm productivity slowing down. Not a good thing. What else was there? Continuing jobless claims. Let's talk about this one. This was the one that's 1.88 million continuing jobless claims. Was at 1.85. They thought it would be 1.87. Wasn't as bad as was going to be worse than what it was. And then 1.855 was what the forecast was. We actually came in even higher. So the number of people continuing to stay on unemployment is going up, is what that is telling us there. Now, tomorrow, let's talk about what's coming tomorrow. Non-farm payrolls, right now, it's at 256,000. The consensus and forecast is 170 to 205. Either one of those is a big loss of non-farm payroll numbers. Unemployment rate expected to be static tomorrow. We'll see on that. That's 4.1 right now. Then there was another one in here. Let me put this on the major ones for tomorrow. I had to put it onto one star because I had the other breakdowns of the initial jobless claims. That's the word. Line, please. All right. So looking here tomorrow, we've also got our average hourly earnings month over month and year over year participation rate. And you can see there's a chance that the average hourly earnings is dropping from 3.9 to 3.8. We also have the participation rate expected to be neutral. So all of that's coming in tomorrow. And in addition to that, with this non-farm payrolls, which is expected to be down. We're going to get that other data, and I'll break all that down for you here in a bit. That's going to be the final annual revisions numbers for the Bureau of Labor Statistics year over year. So let's move over here and let's take a look and see what we're seeing on the Bitcoin longs versus short rate ratios on centralized exchanges. You can see right now, longs 60.6%, shorts 39.4%. So longs, a lot of people still longing from here. I think that until we see this start to flip and a lot of shorts come in, we're going to continue to see some downside because market movers don't like to play well with, right? They like to go, oh, you guys want a long? Let me take your money, and then I'll use your money to pump the markets later. And that's usually what happens. And you can see on Binance, Bybit, and OKX, much more longs than shorts going right now. So, we'll talk about this in a bit too, guys. But today, I'll go ahead and put it out a little bit now. Today at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. That's the time. No, 12. It's going to be at 12 p.m. On the 12 p.m. It's going to be noon on the East Coast. That's the time. I'm going to be with Tom Crown, Seth, Sam, that's Crypto Lifer there, Alex, Jerry, Jordan, Hawk, Anna Masotas and Lems, along with Randy Hipper. I'm going to be on a major spaces here. This is 7 p.m. UTC, which is going to be noon time. But I'm going to be on with all these guys on an X space. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, I shared it in my X. Go follow me over there and go check this out. Honored to be included in a group with especially Tom Crown. There you go, man. Shout out to him. So that is going to be going on. And then also lastly here, let's talk about this. Just in, Bernstein says Strategy's balance sheet will be boosted. If you guys don't know, MicroStrategies is no longer MicroStrategies. It's now Strategy with the Bitcoin logo, okay? So they rebranded themselves. But this is saying that, remember there's accounting rules we talked about went into effect back in December, and I said now he can claim his Bitcoin. It's actually going to boost their balance sheet by $12.75 billion after adopting those new accounting rules. So shout out to them and that new rule. It's going to help them a lot. And I think that's about it there. Let's see what I got on this article. Bitcoin chart signals decisive price move in the coming weeks. I think we can talk about that over TA. That's it. Let's get back over to DuoCam. OC, job numbers already showing some signs of weakness. Before we get into weakness and markets are pulling back, let's go ahead and take a look at what you're seeing on Bitcoin right now. Just a quick synopsis of it, and then I'll come in and sprinkle a little bit of finalization on there before we head into talking about this annual jobs number tomorrow, man. What do you got for us on that chart, bro?
Absolutely. So we've been talking about this big channel first, and then the triangle that is being forming here, and we've been adjusting this trend as every single morning as we see new pivots forming. So this time, well, no surprise, we're going to be adjusting it like that. But something that has been respected, it is this triangle right here, right? So this one and of course this one there. So those two lines have been basically religiously respected. Look at that, top, top, bottom, bottom, top, top again, and we are rejecting once again from it. Something that is worrying me, guys, it is the oscillator, right? You might be saying, well, it's holding. Yes, it's holding, but I mean, something that it's kind of like at the edge of the cliff. It is that if we roll over like this, or we lose a little bit of volume or money flow, we most likely going to be going to visit some lower areas, something like that. It would not be surprising me, right? I mean, as long as, again, as we don't start losing these areas, I'm not going to be that worried. But again, I would like to see it pump at least somewhere around 102 for this week, especially before jumping into the weekend, because we know weekend has low volume. So that might bring not too good news, right? Another thing that is positive and also has to do with the oscillator, it is that we have a very low prime score, right? And we are supposed to be going lower, right? But we are holding. Again, we're on the edge of the cliff. So is it strong? Not too strong. It is showing signals of strongness, but again, we are in a very delicate position, especially since we have this trend line and then coming up with the dynamic reactor with still a very low prime score. So we need to be a little bit careful here. Let me start dropping here my liquidations, and let's see how liquidations are building up. As you can see, at this point, we have 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of a space, and then the juicy part is all the way at 88,652. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas, right? Which are not that juicy as this one, but still spread apart and maybe worth to be taken. So I think, and this is what I was, that's what I was telling you guys, we could be looking at somewhere around 102, 103 in the upcoming days if we see a breakout retest like this. All right, so if we can take that somewhere around here, I would not mind then coming all the way back here to my alert, because we're still gonna be making a higher low like that. All right, so it is all, at this point, it is all about structure on the market, and that's why I want to have a little bit of a higher high, or at least a double topping here, to then may have the chance to create another big pivot like this, but in a higher low situation that might be counteracting this high, lower high. And yes, despite this could be the next lower high, having a higher low, will may start looking things differently, right? Maybe something like this when we start breaking the patterns that we had. So far, again, we need to wait a little bit more on Bitcoin unless you're trading on the 5 minutes. 5 minutes, this was a big movement, and still could be getting the next one all the way down here to then retrace and break apart, or break up. Sorry. Other than that, I turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah. So I was wrong. Alexander G corrected it on the time there. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, noon my time. I'll be on there with those guys on that X space. So, yeah, what I'm watching is the pivot tables, man. Shout out to Chart Prime for the Market Dynamics Pro pivot tables, because they're amazing. Let's jump over and see what I'm seeing on here. Right now, we do have a rejection coming in off that lower band, like I talked about at the beginning. We do have a support band coming in right now. This is actually not a support band, it's a weekly pivot level. It is at 96,149, 150, we'll call it. And that has been our support for the last two pullbacks that we've had here. Don't grab the chart. There we go. Right there and right there. Those last two pullbacks have hit that perfectly for a bounce. But we do have a key rejection being that lowest gold band of the pivot tables, guys. So if you guys want to know what levels, what my settings are for this, I'll go ahead and bring this up and you guys can come back and grab it later. But there it is, enable pivots. And then I've got just what I have turned on. I'm not using the support level or resistance level 3. I guess I could, but I don't need to right now. I'm just running these. So if you guys want to use that on yours, if you have the Market Dynamics Pro, make sure you're on version 3.3.7 and you can get that. So that's what I'm seeing there on Bitcoin. I want to look at the daily here, though. and see how the daily's looking for all of the oscillators, because right now it does look like we're kind of flat and about to make another run. You see right here where it went flat and then came down for another price move, which was this area here. I do think that we're kind of looking at that potential. We had a little wave there starting to come up. We're not getting a big turn. The signal line still nice and widened out, indicating that we still have some more downside move. Money flow on the daily is down, volume's down, oscillators down, True 7's coming down, and we're not really getting true flattening like we typically see before we move back up on price on the RSI Prime. I do think we could visit down here to about 93,253 on that, and that would be in line with that would be close to the support line that we had here, but mainly it would look like it would come down to the value area low of this fixed range volume profile here, guys. You can see where we are right now. We have this nice little resistance node of volume. We have another one coming in right here, which is where we've been catching all that support. And then from there, it's just kind of a downward slope of little cliffs that we might catch our fingers on. But overall, guys, that value area low has been a key area right there, and going back here, and then plus, front runs right there above it. So I would say that that is a possibility if we continue to the downside. That's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. OC, let's jump back over to the Duo Cam, and let's talk about some annual job revisions before we get into the altcoin side of the market. Bitcoin, what are your calls for this for tomorrow, OC? I got to know. Or do you want to wait till I get through the data and you can go, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it's going up from here. And if anybody, Alexandra G maybe, or BC or LBC, can you guys throw a poll? Will jobs revision send markets? And then you can do up, down, pump, dump. I don't care what you do. I just want to see what the people think after we get through this data. But if you could do that, that would be great. We'll talk about PiperCon 2026. I promise you, username. That's coming too. Let's go look at this jobs number though, OC, and let's talk about this because we did have this data come in August 21st, 2024, and it said 818,000 fewer jobs added to the economy than previously reported. Okay, that was what we got back there. But I want to show you guys. A lot of people was like, oh my God, it was 818. No, actually, that was a preliminary annual benchmark review. That is what comes out mid-year because it normally comes out around February, March. Well, guys, the next one that we have coming in, and the CES preliminary benchmark announcement. In accordance with the usual practice, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is announcing the preliminary estimate. That was the one that came out in August, revision to the Establishment Survey Employment Series. The final benchmark revision will be issued in February 2025. If you guys don't know what happened back here, we talked about something was still even wonky about those numbers because in the survey, it had a double count on employment numbers for teachers because it was at that window where they were going back to school or not back to school. And so some of them were double counted as being employed, which they were not because some of the schools did some cuts. So we've already got some data that says that 818,000 might actually be lower than what actually comes in tomorrow. We may get even higher numbers, but let's talk about that. You'll see right here, benchmark release date. So we haven't heard about this really anywhere. It's not on the news. Finance news isn't talking about it. It's not in any headlines. We're not really seeing anything on this. But if you go to bls.gov, here is pretty much the only place you see this. You didn't even see it on the economic calendar. The Bureau of Labor Statistics will publish the annual benchmark revision to Establishment Survey employment data with the February 7th, 2025 release of the January 2025 employment situation. So that is where you're going to get this info, putting this very quietly on the back table. But I do think that there's potential here for us to get a big sell-off or a big pump on this. Let's talk about why. Because typically, when you get bad job numbers, that means weakening the economy, and that kind of scares investors. But when we were sitting at that period of time where the Federal Reserve had pumped up the rate hikes and they were static, sitting up there, right? When we got bad job numbers, the markets rallied on that data. because it meant that the Federal Reserve would have to go back to the table and start considering rate cuts. Guys, we're on that situation right now where the Federal Reserve has paused rate cuts. And if we get job data tomorrow that is worse than 818, because I do believe a majority of that has been baked in, but people may have forgotten about it. It's been long enough. And so the if those numbers come in tomorrow at 818,000, confirming that number or higher, it does force the Federal Reserve to go look at rate cuts again. So we could have that situation where bad news is good news, right, for the markets, or we could get the people that where the sentiment just does a bad scare off on that because they go, man, that's really not good. We need to get the hell out of Dodge, and they start to pull markets out. Remember last time when we got to 818,000, we had a 4% pullback in the stock market, guys, and a 4% pullback in the S&P is a pretty substantial number for the crypto space. So I just want to put all that out there so you guys know. Nobody else is really talking about it, so we'll see. Leonard Beach's crypto, what's your big news, bro? You can't say that. And are you going to announce it tonight? I don't know what you're doing. Are you pregnant? That's what BC Port Corp said. So you are definitely typical. Okay, let me look here at the chat. I got to check out the chat here. Let's talk about PiperCon 2026. So, yeah, an ocean of mods here. There is. That's true. It's because I had to have so many because all of our shows are on at such different times. And in order to make sure that I've got mods in every show, I've got to have a lot of mods, and they always show up to the morning show. So I appreciate all of them. That's okay. I'll have a whole show of mods, whatever. I want to talk about PiperCon 2026 because in 2026, Piper Academy is going to do an alumni cruise. And we're going to contact, if we get confirmation of people that they're saying, hey, if it's in this price line, I'm in, then we can contact the cruise line and get group rates for everybody. That's how that will work. But because last night on the live stream, when we were talking about it, drop some cruise ships in the chat, by the way. There we go. We also got that poll up, guys. Make sure you go answer that poll. I'm pretty curious to see what it says. Right now, it's saying 58% chance pump tomorrow. That's what we have so far. Because TradeFly was not paying attention to chat, and we were dropping cruise ships all through the chat. I said, if he notices this before the end of the show, I will pay for one of the rooms for a member. So we're going to do a members giveaway. It will be an oceanside room for two, unless you're by yourself, and then it'll be one. But I am going to pay for a room on the cruise for the 2026 alumni cruise. So there you go. We're going to be taking a cruise. Don't know where yet. We're going to figure it out. Don't know how long it's going to be yet. Probably a week, 5 to 7 days. And we're going to be giving away one of the rooms on the PiperCon 2026 cruise. So, yeah, I know he was very anti PiperCon 2026, and then he had to come back and go, what? But yeah, we're going to be doing a cruise in 2026, guys, here at the Piper Academy. So who do we have in here right now? It looks like the Otter Gang has just bum rushed our building. Alex O, are you going to be joining us on the cruise in 2026? Because we're definitely doing one. We're going to do a meet and greet on a cruise ship. So shout out to everyone that is just joining us here. Welcome to the Morning Market Report. OC, I would like to hear your thoughts now that you've seen these numbers. What do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin, with the crypto market in general, coming into this tomorrow's data of the annual job revisions? Are we going to get higher numbers? What do you think is going to happen if we get higher numbers, if we get lower numbers? What's your opinion?
All right, so talking about that important information, who cares? We're going to get a cruise, man. Let's go. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty excited though, but that's gonna be great. I'm a little bit worried about it because I do see a couple of order blocks above the current price of Bitcoin right now, especially one that we're bouncing from at this point, which is an order block. Something important about order blocks, and I'm gonna build to it. It is that they're also magnetic. They're resistance or support, but they're also magnetic. We do not have any other order block down below. And we can take volume out of this order block right now and make it so we bounce out of 95. There's no order block right down here that might keep pulling us back down here. But this is a ticking bomb, right? If tomorrow, which I believe it's going to be a bearish signal in the markets, I think it's going to be worse than before. Man, I don't know. There's a couple of things running into my head. But if we follow what we've seen, job numbers might be worse than the revision, right? So that means that we would need only today to come back down, take whatever is left out of this soft order block, and look at that. That is 96% bearish. So we are definitely going to be bouncing from it to the downside, right? Still soft. So that means that the propulsion to the downside might not be as much. So this area might be hold, right? And then if we can take this one, we might be able to get to this area to then get back down here, which will get us above the dynamic reactor, which again will be an intervention or a resistance, well, to the price going through, right? So a support, just so we are in line with it. So talking specifically about Bitcoin, I really want to do this movement before tomorrow release of those numbers, but I don't think we're gonna get them. So embrace yourself, guys, and plan for your worst case scenario. I will be looking for a possible week like this one here. So somewhere around 88,821 or 88,900, somewhere around those areas as a ballpark. Maybe even a little bit lower here. Still, I believe that that's going to be kind of like a little bit of a range down there and then pump back up. But it is something to take very seriously into consideration, because Piper was mentioning this before the show. That made the markets move at 4% on NASDAQ, right? What does a 4% on NASDAQ represent on Bitcoin? That is almost, that is a lot.
Oh, that was S&P, bro. That was
now.
S&P moved 4%.
Oh, sorry.
NASDAQ was even more, yeah.
Yeah, so it's something that we need to be aware of, something that we need to be taking care of, guys. If you don't have a plan B, if you don't have a stop loss, if you don't have a plan, you are on time at this point. This is not bearish OC, but this is cautious OC, right? So just be careful in the markets and plan for a worst case scenario.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the markets being built against you. Because a lot of people, we hear things like composite man and the system is designed to keep me down, so on and so forth. There's a pretty interesting video that I watched yesterday. Let me go ahead and bring this up and let's go screen out of here. Phone up. There we go. Let's go ahead and watch this video. Let's hear what these guys are saying, because they got some valid points here. Let's check it out.
People think the system is rigged.
Ooh, we usually save that for last.
Yeah, we're going hot.
Yeah.
Only poor people think the system is rigged?
Yeah. One of the problems with the concept that you believe the system is rigged is that it keeps you stuck. Because then if it's rigged against you and your people, why bother trying? So it's a very disempowering approach. And it's actually what I grew up in. I grew up in a family, multi-generational poor people, and we just believed that there were people at the top, rich people pulling the strings, not letting us get ahead. And so some branches of my family in the US since the Mayflower, and both my sets of grandparents living in trailer parks. And so as a kid, I'm thinking, obviously the system's rigged. Obviously it is. Hardworking, God-fearing, loving family. Why aren't we getting ahead? And the shift, the reframe that I think is really, really powerful is to look at it like it's a game. So it feels like it's rigged if you don't know how to play the game. And so in the book, we use the metaphor of you show up to a football game in your pickleball gear, right? You got your little paddle, your little shorty shorts, and you're just getting wiped out because you can't catch the ball with your paddle. Somebody just knocks you down. You feel like the system's rigged. People are blowing the whistle. You're getting fouls all the time. You feel like you're out of your element. You feel like everyone's set up against you. That's not really the case. So the way to look at it, it's a game. And there's a poor people game, a middle class game, a rich person game. And if you want to thrive or survive at a different socioeconomic level, you got to learn how to play the game.
Only poor people.
There you go. So you got to learn how to play the game, guys, and that is that's Bitcoin, in my opinion. When I watched this thing, I was like, "This is how you play the game differently." As you get into something that has not been fully adopted yet. When I talk about Bitcoin is going to change people's lives, it is not going to change your life overnight. It's not, but it will absolutely change your life over years. And if you're looking at it right now going, okay, I need to break out, I've got a lot of profit. That's why I took my profit and started my DCA reset again. And we talk about this all the time in our community. But yeah, the system being rigged against you, if you feel like it is, maybe you need to retake a look at your game and how you're playing it. You might be in pickleball gear and not buying the right stuff. If the memeries, yes, they can make some moves, but that's not where you're going to get your long-term breakout of the system, guys. That's so. This video just resonated with me when thinking about Bitcoin. I just wanted to share it with you guys. So there you go. LBC has an announcement. He said he has another lunar baby coming. So lunar baby crypto LBC. Yes. So congratulations to Lunar Beaches, man. Dude, dude. This dude, he's a great dad. If you guys don't know, dude is an amazing dad for his family, and he's always there for him. And now he's going to have another one being blessed into the lunar household. So shout out to you, bro. I appreciate it. Let's go talk about some altcoins, OC. I know you're watching some alts. What do we got on OM, and what do we got that we can show Alex O Crypto? I know you and Alex do your thing. So were you talking about anything yesterday? Since he's here, you can address it now. Let's go over to your chart.
Oh yes. So since we're talking about Alex at crypto, I know he loves XRP. So let's do XRP for him. He says that he wanted to buy XRP. I think he's going all in, if I'm not mistaken, right, Alex? Just let me know in the chat. All right. So XRP looking crap, to be honest. Right? Am I cut out? Oh, there we go. I'm back. So Piper, I'm army. I'm in the army, in the XRP army, right?
You're in the army? Actually, it's the XRP army, sir. Get the F out of my house.
Oh yes, I love that meme, man. All right, let's go into into where we are here for, right? So Wyckoff, that's what we're looking at here as with any other altcoin, right? But something important about XRP, it is that the little range that happened a little bit up here, still very nice, a V-shaped recovery, high, not high in the previous range, and then we can start looking for our range. The range is already given, by the way, if you have not noticed, and that is given by your VPVR or POC, money flow POC. Money flow POC. Sorry, too much words at the same time. Therefore, we already have the bottom range here. We already have the upper range here. So we're going to be looking to long, short it until it breaks out. This is one of my strategies, guys. This is only for members only, but I'm going to be giving it to you guys for free at this point. So take some notes. Usually when I do this strategy, I open a short at the top and keep it alive when I go all the bottom. I just take 50% out, keep my stop loss, and then at the same time, as a hedge, I open up a long, and then I ride it all the way to the top. At the top, I take out 50% of that long, and then add from my gains back the other 50%. So I have a full-fledged trade to rush all the way down again, rinse and repeat until it takes me out. So if it takes me on the third session, that's fine. Why? What's going to happen to my short in here? I know I took profits here 50%, but I still have half of a trade to keep riding it without even worrying where's it going to be breaking out and what's going to happen with my long stopped out. That's fine because I already did one full profit long in these two movements. Then if it breaks to the upside, that's fine. Same thing, but the inverse. So that's how I prevent for losing on a range. That's why ranging get me so excited. So we could be going for a little bit of a bouncing here. Caveat: wait for tomorrow. Not financial advice. Do whatever you want, but wait for tomorrow because Bitcoin, it always leads the way, and Bitcoin follows macro markets. And tomorrow we're gonna have job number revision, again. So this is going to be very, very important. So every altcoin that we see today, take it with a grain of salt. All right. Litecoin. Oh, you wanted to do but Litecoin. So I leave Litecoin for you, my friend.
No, you go ahead and take it, man. You're good.
Perfect. So Litecoin, yesterday I was looking at a possibility of a long over a short. It stood in the same place in here. Remember, we have the same Wyckoff stuff. So little range, V-shaped recovery. We already know the upper range and the lower range. Since we were going downwards, what happens? I was expecting for a long, but also look at that. I was also preparing for a short. What happened first? It was the short first, but I did not took it. Why? Because that happened when I was asleep. Still, we need to be patient at this point in waiting for the next bottoming up so we can long it, short it, long it, short it. So you can see if we break out retest, that's going to be a long. If we reject, we most likely are going to be rejecting out of this line, and we did exactly as we were expecting. So shout out to this strategy. Already showed that works, but also it showed that we need to be awake for it to take it. And finally, OM, man, this is just like magic. Shout out to Crypto Trades. He got the idea to copy this one and also not to aim for all the way down here. So, guys, are you in a long? If you are, make sure on the next bounce to move your stop to entry. Why? Because of tomorrow. Once again, if not, remember we have a secondary entry right here to average our entry. If you took both, somewhere like this, so you have covered both case scenarios. Always your stop loss regulates how much you're going to be losing, because regardless, you're always at risk, right? But so far, our prediction, it's been follow step by step, candle by candle. So we should be very close to a breakout, bullish or bearish. I would love to say bullish, but because of tomorrow's data, it remains to be seen. But other than that, playing out fantastically. Shout out to OM. Let's go.
All right, let's go take a look over here. I just want to take a look, generalized look at all of the altcoins, because a lot of them are looking the same right now, guys, and that is a sell-off about to happen. Let's go ahead and jump over to my charts here, and I'll show you guys what I'm watching here. First of all, Dow Jones. Sorry if I just blinded anybody. I can't make the screen black here. I'm sorry. Dow Jones is losing now to the downside, going into the negative 0.04. As I said this morning, we were looking pretty flat across the board, and right now the markets are just kind of holding their breath, I think. S&P still holding below 0.3 to the upside, NASDAQ 0.4, and the Russell 2000 has sold off over its 1% since the market opened. So right now, looking like some sell-off there. And if we take a look at the actual charts, we'll start at Ethereum here, and I'm just going to scroll down through and just show you guys chart after chart what I'm seeing here. Look, we're losing the weekly pivot right now. We do have a 382 at $2,700 on Ethereum, okay? Money flow looks like it's starting to come down. Ribbon's starting to come down on the oscillator here, saying, hey, look, we might be moving to the downside also. That's Ethereum. Look over here at SUI. Yesterday, I talked about this level right here being a key level that you could look for a short. Downward arrows pointed there. Let me take those off, and you'll see as soon as this loads in with the pivot tables, what it's looking like right now, and that is a sell-off from that level, which was, again, right here. So if it loads in sometime today, sir, thank you. There we go. That was that upper band of the the median margin, the mother's milk top of the skim there, getting that rejection down yesterday. Now we are losing the lower band. Easily looking at $3.07, possibly coming back down to the support one, which is at 281. Money flow starting to come down a little bit. Oscillator ribbon has printed off in the red from that point, guys. So that short yesterday on SUI, looking good there. Look at Chainlink. Chainlink right now did get a rejection off of its value area low. It is sitting on support right now on the platinum pocket, but it is losing its weekly pivot also. Next level, $17.83. It's going to be support level 1, sitting right right there off of the Fibonacci's and also on the support lines, all right there in that region. Money flow is coming to the downside. Looks like the oscillator ribbon pushing down also. We got another market there of downside move. Let's go look over here at Solana, see how that's looking. I've got a long entry. I think I'm actually going to cancel that one out because I don't think that that's going to hold there. That was the level I was watching. I set it up for a long entry. Think now it's going to be invalidated with what I'm seeing happening with the TradFi markets. What are we seeing here? Well, we do have a very critical level right here. That's the weekly pivot coming in right about $192.45. But if we lose that, our main support level, which is back here, held it there, held it back here. That is going to be the zone that I put on here a long time ago. And that level coming in right about 179. We do have a support level at about 181 coming in on the pivots there. Ondo, let's take a quick look at that. Got a rejection off of its 236. Also in line with that, got another retest and a rejection off of our top of our pivot bands. We do have a point of control holding right now, but if we lose this and get a retest, look for a short there. Overall, though, if Ondo comes down here and then comes back up later on off of this dynamic quantum reactor here for a bounce, guys, look for this trend line to be your breakout retest and a long entry there. Could happen over the weekend depending on how the markets react to tomorrow's jobs data. The last one that I wanted to pull up here is NEAR, because I know we got a lot of NEAR fans in here. So let's look at this. We got a zero line here coming in on fibs, guys. This level goes way, way back, to this point here. So if you take a look at what that's looking like for us, that would be sitting right below our support level. If we lose that support level, could see NEAR drop all the way down to a liquidity grab on this previous peak, and that would be about $2.69, $2.70. Money flow is in the red. Oscillator ribbon is also coming down. Quick little run through there. We're just seeing a lot of continuation patterns running over and over and over again here on a lot of alts. So I want you guys to be aware of those and be careful. If we do get some double bounces in some of those areas, guys, where you get that bounce down, it goes up, makes a little body, does another bounce. That is something that Alex O Crypto calls the balloon dog pattern. I got it here. I'm going to be watching for that shape on my chart. It's going to look like that. When I see that, get that double bottom, come back up, consolidate with the flag, balloon dog pattern on the chart. Alex O Crypto, shout out to you, man. Going to be watching for that on some of those levels that we're seeing here on the charts. OC, we got about 7 minutes. I just knocked out a bunch of altcoins. Do you have anything else you want to show? If not, we will start wrapping this up and head over to the Randy Hipper house. What do you got for us, man?
Very quick, Solana and Goldman Sachs. I want to take a look at those two. All right, Solana, basically we are on support at this point. Let me just bring it up. There we go. We're on previous weekly low, right? And we have some air on the trend line there. Something important is that we planned for in case we had that run up. It did not happen, so it happened plan B. Is it now time to start jumping into a trade? Not yet. We need to wait a little bit more, but still we are very, very, very close to entry zones. Let me bring up a couple of other stuff. There we go. As you can see, we are right there on the blue line, but we need to see that conviction on the oscillator to make that burst to the upside. Let me remove the rest of the things. There we go, like that. So if you see a little bit of a wick and then close above this area, that's going to be also your signal, along with the oscillator breaking up to the upside. Still very dangerous, but this is the one of the ones that I've been watching, and it is almost at its entry point right there. Something important. If you enter here, be careful on this trend line because this order blocks might get also stronger since we have a trend line there. And then Goldman Sachs doing great here. I don't know if I should be happy or not about it, but we are breaking the previous high in here. Something important is that it looks like we're having right here a kind of like a megaphone effect. So if you are on it, be careful. You might have another chance, another opportunity on the way down in continuation. So be aware that you might have maybe second chance somewhere around 626 or even 619. Other than that, that's all I got, Piper.
Awesome. Let me jump in here just to remind you guys, tomorrow morning, those annual job numbers, the revision is going to be coming out with this report right here. That's going to be 6:30 a.m. my time, 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. That is an hour before the market open, an hour before we go live. So be watching closely for that data. I will be dropping, as soon as I get the annual revisions number, I will be dropping it on X. So make sure you follow me on X so that you can get that info. And then don't forget, today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to be on that show with Tom Crown, Randy Hipper, a bunch of people. Let me just go bring that back up just to show you guys again. Yep, right there. We're going to be here live. So make sure you guys join us on the X space for that. That's going to be a really interesting one. I will be there. They brought me in to talk about economy. And so I'm honored and humbled that when people think about economic data and how the macro is going, call Army Piper. Better call Piper. That's what they said. So I appreciate you guys joining us here today. OC, always a pleasure to have you as my co-host, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't forget, guys, to click that like, because we got very few likes in comparison to the number of people in here. You guys those are rookie numbers.
I pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Rookie numbers. You guys need to hit that like, share this out with a friend. And we are about to head over to Randy Hipper live right now into the frat house. Go out there, drop the graduation caps. We'll catch everybody back here tomorrow morning. Give you guys an update on what happened with the job numbers. And OC, tell these people what happens if they smash the like, that those job numbers, they will be amazing. And we're all going to get uber rich on Bitcoin.
Oh yes, guys, please hit that like button if you haven't. That really makes wonderful things happen. If you don't believe me this time, if you click that like button, the next egg you go bite on your fridge is gonna be chocolate egg. Don't believe me? Click that like button, go to your fridge, pick one egg, bite it, give it a good bite there. I promise you, you will not be disappointed, or I will not be disappointed at that result.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, guys, thanks for joining us here today on the Morning Market Report. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. with all these job numbers, all this economic data, all the technical analysis, what you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Be sure to tune in today to the rest of our shows that we have here on the Piper Academy Network, Trade Academy with TI. We've got the Crypto Nightcap this evening with TradeFly. Markets After Dark, maybe. I'm not sure how LBC is feeling. I think he is feeling better. And then tomorrow morning, kicking it all over again with Good Morning Crypto, guys. Until then, trade safe, and as always, use some risk management. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.